Hello everybody. So today we are going to be working on our samplers for the knit sweater. So if you recall, this is what we're working on. Whoop. My thread came with me. And I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I'm going to turn the camera down and we're going to take a look at what we are supposed to do next on our little knit sweater samplers. Okay, so here I have my hoop with my fabric, and I need to adjust my placement of my fabric just a little bit. So I'm going to scoot my fabric down, and what that's going to do is allow me to move my hoop. And I'm just going to tighten this, and then we are going to pull our fabric. Remember, we're going for drum tight. I don't know if you could hear that in my first video, but it is an important thing. So we're going to tighten that hoop down. And all I wanted to do was center my sweater a little bit more to make it just a little bit easier to work on that, because there we go. And you may hear Abby in the background. I'm in the house today because Ina is still at school while I'm filming this. Okay, so one of the first things that we need to do is go ahead and grab our thread. And we are not using this darker ecru color now, or tan, whatever that is. We're going to use this lighter one to stitch our sweater. So I'm going to just pull one thread out from this bundle of 6. And when you do that, your thread will want to sort of gather up. That's okay. As soon as the tension's released, it will straighten back out. So here we are, and I have my single thread, because I do believe that's what we're supposed to have. Let's see. Oh no, sorry. So in looking at our pattern, it does tell us that there's an order that we're supposed to be using. So we're going to do the single dashed sections first. And, oop, I got a little something on my screen. There we go. And so my single dashed sections are going to be these right here. And to do that, we're going to do the interlaced running stitch, but it actually says that I need 2. So I need the DMC ecru, which this is the ecru, and I need 2 strands. So I've pulled one strand out, and I'm going to pull a second strand out. And this is actually a really good practice to do when you are stitching, is to always pull your strands out separately, because you actually don't want them to be twisted around each other when you go to stitch. All right. So I am just going to take my thread, and actually, one moment. Haha, I had to find my needle threader. This makes it so much easier when I have my needle threader. So needle threader through the eye, and then I will take the 2 strands, there we go, put them on my little hook, and then pull them through the eye, just like that. There we go. Really like my needle threader. I'll keep that out. Might need it again. Okay, now we are going to use an away stitch again, because it's just easy. So I'm just making a knot here in the tail of my thread. And remember, with an away stitch, we're going to go down some distance away from our intended target, which is here. So I'm going to kind of put my away stitch down over here. I'm going to pull it through, and that will leave our knot on the top. So you can see I've got several knots on the top that I will have to deal with as I go to finish my piece, but we don't care about that right now. Okay, and then the first thing that we're going to do is just do a running stitch. So I'm honestly just going to sort of do some poking up and down. I do want to check my, I'm going to look here at my sweater. My sample in the front. And yeah, nice and small. All right, we're gonna do it. I am going to stitch so that my running stitches cover the white portion of the dashed line. So that's my goal. That's all I'm doing. And this is not fancy production sampler work or embroidery work. I'm just kind of playing with it. So if I were properly embroidering, I would do that. But pressing on my fabric does cause it to lose some tightness. So anyway, and if you're not careful, you can bend your needles doing this, so do be careful. There's my happy little running stitch. Such a nice little running stitch. Helps if you can get it in just the right spot. And oops. For anybody who does sashiko, then this running stitch should look very familiar, because most sashiko is done with a running stitch. And Marshmallow's playing with a ball behind me. Marshmallow. So I just have all kinds of critters doing things today. All right, so now that we have our running stitch in, we're going to do the interlaced part. So I'm going to come up on the outside edge of my last running stitch here. Slide my needle under, and now we're just going to go back and forth. That's our entire aim, is to just go back and forth. And remember, we don't want to pull this, uh-oh, I might have gotten that stitch just a smidgen tight. We don't want to pull our thread too tight, because we do want a little bit of that curve to show. So there we go. I do appreciate on the Kariki Press patterns that she gives you a guide in terms of stitch this first, then stitch that. I don't always see that on my embroidery patterns, but I think it's a nice little addition, and it certainly helps me, especially as I'm learning how to embroider, which, I mean, I've done several embroideries by this point, but this isn't something I do every day or even every week. A few times a year I get the itch and I go and I embroider for a while, and then, well, and then I don't. So now we're going to come back around. So we did one side and made our little wiggly line. You can see our lovely wiggly line. But remember, with that interlaced running stitch, we have to do both sides, because that's what's going to show off that sort of serpentine shape that makes it look like cables on this little embroidered sweater. And remember, we're just going to go back under each of those running stitches again, but trying not to pull too tight. We don't want to pull too tight. Just like this. And I'm also trying to make sure that I don't like catch the threads, but okay, let's see. This looks a little, not bad. I don't like this one. See if I can wiggle it. There, that's a little bit better. Wiggling is a technical term, you know. Okay, just like this. And this. And this one could be just a little bit better. It's not terrible. A lot of this is just practice. And I'm going to go back through this top stitch. And I'm just going to park my needle up in here. Just like that. So there we go. That's our first interlaced running stitch. And it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad, I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other dashed line, because that is what she says to do, is do the single dash sections, which is this one and this one first. And then we will get into the double dash sections, which are these guys, where we will be doing the Cretan stitch in these double dashed sections. So there's 4 of those double dash sections. Okay, so I went ahead and I did both of those interlaced running stitches on my sweater, and now we are ready to set up and do the Cretan stitch. So again, we're going to do the Cretan stitch on these double dashed lines right here. Okay, whoop. And I had to move outside because Ina came home. And now I have a decision to make, because I have some thread left. And I hate to waste thread, but I am going to be doing the Cretan stitch. So I have to decide, and it is 2 strands again. So I have to decide if I am going to go ahead and work my Cretan stitch. I guess maybe I could do this smaller one over here. I might have enough thread for that. Let's do that. We're going to try it. If it fails, we'll just cut it and start again. So let's see. Let's see what hers looks like. Yeah, she did kind of. So I'm looking up here into the armpit area. You can see she did kind of smoosh it in here. So I'm going to do the same thing, because, you know, I'm going to follow the designer and try to do the same thing. So we're going to go maybe here, and then here, and then we want to make sure that we leave a bit of a loop, right, because we're going back and forth. So we'll go here, and maybe over here. See if this works out. And then, oop, I didn't leave enough of a loop. Hang on. Pull that out just a bit. There we go. And then maybe here to here. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I don't think I am. Uh-oh, I didn't leave enough. I didn't leave enough loop again. It's the hardest part for me, is remembering to leave the loop on this one. I'll see if I can go back behind it and get around that. Nope. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fake it. I'm gonna go under it. This is not the way, not the proper way to make this stitch. Aha, there we go. Then go down here. Oh my goodness, let's leave that loop. Leaving the loop is important. All right, there we go. And then let's see, it's gonna go here, so that goes there. Gosh, I hope I'm doing this right. It looks okay. Don't you think it looks okay? I don't know. Whew. Sorry for all the truck noises today. Like I said, I hadn't really anticipated being outside, but then Ina came home and she's just as loud as the trucks, so. Okay, we're gonna do this. It's looking okay. I mean, maybe it's not exactly what I meant to do, but it's all right. And I'm gonna go back up through that one. You're just kind of stitching along with me at this point. We're just going back and forth and we're playing stitch along. I may have pulled that too Too close. No, no, no. Oh, shoot. Ah, there, made it. Gotta remember to leave my little loopy goopy. That's important. Gotta leave my little loopy goopy. Okay. And I'm just following the Cretan Stitch that we learned a couple weeks ago. So I'm not doing anything super strange. Anyway, I think I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know if I like it. I feel like I was going really well. Let's look what hers looks like. I was doing okay, and then, oh no, look, hers is so much tighter than mine. What do you guys think? This one's a lot tighter. I'm thinking maybe I don't have this space closely enough. No, I think I'm gonna take it out. Okay, so taking out stitches is a little bit harder than putting them in, but not by much. I'm just gonna back them out one at a time, just like this. So the top looks okay. It's just the bottom kind of, I don't know, I was getting too far apart or something. I think that's it. I think I'm getting too far apart. Do it like this. But I'm just trying to make sure that I don't strip my threads. And yes, I am doing this so that I can reuse my thread. Let's see. I think I'm going to keep the top, and I'm going to go back in with my threader, my needle threader here. There. Thread my needle again. All right, let's try this. What if I split the difference here? Ooh. Don't want to lose my loops though. Okay. I feel like I'm doing the same thing again. It just looks a lot more open. Hers looks a lot tinier. So how do I get this closer together? I'm doing something. I'm not following it quite right. So what am I doing? I thought I was doing okay. Let's see if I can make it tighter. If I can, I might just go back and restitch this. What if I go side by side? Let's see. Oh, I think that's the problem. There, doesn't that look like it's a little bit better? Like I've managed to do just a little bit better. I think I'm supposed to be using both of the dots. I don't know. I thought that my Cretan Stitch looked okay, but maybe it doesn't. I mean, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm supposed to use both of my dots. What do you guys think? It's definitely tighter together when I do it like this. I can see it better. But I don't know. Don't know. What do you think? Does that look like a tighter Cretan Stitch? I think that looks a little bit better. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to split the difference and then use each of those dots, not just one of them. I feel like I was using just one over here, but when I look at her stitches, they're much tighter than what mine are. Can I get this to open? No, why won't you open? There we go. So yeah, see, hers looks a lot tighter here. This looks a lot tighter here too. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep trying to do this. All right, so there's your assignment now, is to keep going and doing all of your Cretan Stitch. And, oop, I just lost my thread. That's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing all of the Cretan Stitch on my little sweater. And when we come back next time, we will work on what's left. Let's see, chain stitching and the spider stitch, at least one of those. But yeah, I'm just going to keep working on my Cretan stitching for a little bit. I'm not sure, I may rip this out and start it over again, but I do think that part of what I need to do to make it tighter is to use each of those double dots. So that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. If I change my mind, I'll let you know in the next one. But let me know what you guys are doing. Do you think that we should be using both of these double dots? I mean, I had kind of thought that the double dots were to help guide you, but I can see this is much tighter than what my stitching was. So, and by tighter, I mean there's just a lot more stitching in each of these little sections than what my sample had. So, yeah, I'm going to figure out how to make this tighter, and I think the key to that is to use those double dots more instead of alternating them. So, okay, I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do all of those fun things everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're trying to keep up with all of them. And make sure that you check out the new website. That's www.atwistedpicot.com. So, see you there. Bye!